Real as
So tell me why, okay, I've told you that I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
And you looked me in the eye after our pod with Hartley, and you said that does not exist.
Okay.
What on earth are you talking about?
Okay, so at jeopardy of sounding very arrogant, I'm going to throw some presuppositions, and so what I'm going to say is these presuppositions, if they're true, then my argument makes sense. If they're not true, my argument doesn't make any sense, and I would fully acknowledge that. So
Okay.
if you don't agree with those presuppositions,
Yeah.
which you won't because you're agnostic, so for one, just make believe that God does exist.
Mm-hmm.
So make believe one, premise one is God does exist. Make believe two, that he's a Judeo-Christian God, or better yet, we'll call it a biblical God.
Okay.
So a biblical God is omnipotent, omniscient, all the omnis.
Yes.
Like big and powerful.
Really big.
So if you have those things in place, and we are the creation, and he created us specifically to desire a relationship with him. So again, here's my third premise, and again, you would reject all three of these. So if you say, I don't agree with those three things, I would agree with you. Agnostics do exist. I would also agree with you if these things aren't true, you should be agnostic, maybe even atheist. So just bear with me. But if 1 and 2 are true, and then 3, the third premise is that God created us to have a beautiful relationship, but like most parents, they don't want to force their kids to have a relationship. They want the kid to love them and want to have a relationship. So I don't make DJ say, I love you. When he says it, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. I love it. But I don't make him. I'm like, you didn't say I love you. Say I love you.
Yeah.
Show me. Demonstrate. So if those three things are true, then everybody actually is hardwired to know God. They don't know they know God, but that's the thing that's missing. So like when you're a little kid and you have the little toy and it's got the little round, the little oval, the little triangle, and the little square shape,
Yeah.
and you put the little things in,
Yeah.
they only fit in those things. You have a God-shaped hole in your heart. So agnostics don't exist. If those three things are true, they actually know it deep down inside. They're just rejecting it because the world has been so bad to them, whatever. There's a myriad. So they have to reject God because God is bound to particular figures in the world, and those figures in the world, which should have been good for them, were not good to them, and so they have the things inextricably linked. And until they can separate God from, like for me, hopefully my dad doesn't watch this, a father and God are inextricably linked. Until I can disconnect the two, I have to reject God, because God is so inextricably linked to my father, and because my father and I did not have a good relationship. So as long as those things are inextricably linked, I have to reject God. But I'm rejecting God not because it makes sense. I'm rejecting God because I'm rejecting my father. Or I'm rejecting a coach who molested a kid. Or I'm rejecting a teacher who gave me an F and hated me. You know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that would be my assertion. But again, I'm making that assertion on huge presuppositions. A,
Right.
that God does exist. B, that he made us and is all those omnis. And then 3, that we have this, he made us to be completely linked with him. That is where we're our happiest, our most satisfied, is when we're in his arms. And so when we're in his arms, and really a better way of saying that is we do the path. He creates this beautiful path for us to follow, and then when we follow it, life is good. Well, when we reject those things, we're not really, it's not so much that we've come to this philosophical, deep intellectual cognizance, God doesn't exist. What we're doing is we're rejecting something that has been projected onto God. We don't understand what God is.
So you think that, yeah, that's not knowing, not understanding, same thing.
Well, no, it's really not, because you're thinking in your head, I have to be able to write a treatise, but there's things you know in your heart, deep down in your heart, you can never prove, but you know those things. And that's what I'm talking about. I think everybody knows God deep down in their heart. You can't hate something that you don't think exists, and think about how many people hate God.
Yeah, but think about how many people don't hate God.
Yeah, and those are
Like
the people.
there are people searching and who
those
want
are
to
the
find
people
God,
in
right? But they
between
still,
stages.
okay. It makes sense what you're saying. I still don't agree with it because I don't.
I mean, why would you?
Because I'm not a
your-
believer, right?
Your
So
3 premises are opposite of mine.
yeah, totally. I definitely see what you're saying as someone who
And that's why I
is
had a hard
firm
time
100%.
articulating, because it
Yeah.
sounds really arrogant. But
It
what
doesn't
I-
sound arrogant at all, actually. It makes sense better now than the last time we had this discussion. I think it's probably because I took you off guard with disagreeing with you on it so heavily.
No, it wasn't so much that. What it was is, is I didn't want to come across like I know better than you, because
Yeah.
that's what religious people do.
Because you know that I know better than you.
Of course, you're smarter than me. Like, everybody knows that. I don't want to ever say otherwise, but.
No, I get it. No, that makes sense.
So
that actually makes sense to me.
That would be my disagreement. And so, again, it's kind of one of those, it's not semantical, but it almost seems semantical, because the person's like, okay, so it's like Freud going, hey, everybody wants to have sex with your mom. And you're like, I don't want to have sex. Well, because it's subconscious.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, how can I prove otherwise?
Yeah.
It almost feels the same way. But, again, if those three premises are true, it would make perfect sense.
So you think that deep down, everyone knows God?
I think deep down inside, everybody wants to know God. They just
Okay.
don't know it's God. They're chasing this, that, and the other, but in actuality, what they really want is a relationship with the thing that created and loves them more than any human being could ever do.
So I still disagree, because I still am not seeing the full, I'm still not seeing the full connection, because I still think that you're in that transition period where I understand like someday you could be there, but you're still in this section of it where you don't know, you're not knowing, you're agnostic. Like
I
maybe
think you can
you're
make-
hopeful, but you're still in this spot right now. Like
And this
right
is
now,
why-
I'm not knowing, right?
This is why it seems so arrogant, and this is why
Yeah.
I didn't want to have the
It kind of makes
conversation.
sense, it just not fully for me
It's
yet.
because I would call that denial. I
Okay.
think if God created, so if God is in
And
those
some
three
people could
things,
call yours denial.
no, I would be
That's why it's so fun.
in triple denial. If,
Mhm.
if none of these things are true, I'm in the worst denial. I'm like actually like lunatic fringe.
Mhm.
Whereas you're not lunatic fringe. You're
It's
just,
so interesting, yeah,
So,
just depending on where.
in my mind, if those three things exist, there's no way to not have a hard line back
Mhm.
to God.
Yeah,
Like, would you, if you were omnipotent, Lincoln or Stella, if they went to the other side of the world and denied your existence, you'd still love them.
mhm,
And you'd still be right there for them. Even if they say, Becky, we hate her, whatever the fallout was,
Mhm.
she wouldn't buy me a car and
yeah.
an iWatch or iPod Watch or whatever the hell they are.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know. But they hate you, they move up, but they would always, in their heart subconsciously, they would not just know you and know you exist, they would yearn for you. And they would be
Mhm.
miserable until the day they came back to mom.
Mhm.
And I think that's, and again, it sounds very arrogant.
No, that makes sense, that actually makes sense.
So
I understand
if
your
God
point
is
of view
those
for
three
sure.
things, you have to be in denial because there's never a severing on his part. It's only a severing on our part.
Mhm.
His
No,
hand
that
is
makes
still
sense.
on us. And so you can't be agnostic or atheist. You can only be in denial confused and sad, or denial angry.
Okay, that makes sense if you believe those three things, for sure.
But those three things are huge presuppositions.
Yeah.
And most people, agnostic or atheist, reject not one, but all three of them.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
totally. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that.
So that's my argument.
All right.
It's not a very good one.
It's a good one. It's a great one. No, it makes much more sense than last time we spoke.
Well, and-
I was like,
And again, I'm having this conversation with you now, but it's such a cusp of being such an arrogant premise, because I'm saying I know better than you on these, which I don't. I'm just asserting that if these
yeah, I
things
don't
are
think
true.
you're saying you know better. I think you are in a way because you believe those three things. You're not
Right.
saying I'm better than you.
No,
You're saying
certainly not.
I know things you don't know. You think you know things that I don't know, but not in an arrogant way.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, no, not
But
at all.
it comes
I don't.
across that way.
I could see that.
And this is the problem of religious zealots, is
Yeah.
they don't think about their audience. They don't, like, if you were like, hey, JP, you know, the problem with you and being a realtor is you're just way too distracted. You kind of suck at it. Well, I'm not gonna listen to that. The delivery was so harsh.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I worry about, because I think people are ready to hear that sometimes, they're not ready to hear that, but they're never really ready to be bludgeoned over the head with it.
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm a little docile for
I
that
get that. That
conversation.
makes sense. That's
Okay.
funny. I've been thinking about that with our kids too. Just like, I mean, I have one going into middle school. You have
Yeah.
one going into high school.
Crazy.
And they're at that crazy age where like their minds, their brains are still just going through so many changes and forming and
Right. I mean, ours probably are. So
Yeah.
you imagine theirs with all that, their endocrine system is like,
yeah. Just thinking about the delivery with things with kids, you know what I mean? Like I have to be really careful about it. You see people with their delivery and I always think like, that's a human still, like you're not really teaching the best respect examples
right,
here.
right.
You know, just slow down and
Uh-huh.
listen to them.
Right, because if they feel listened to and respected, they're so much more receptive.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, when you yell, your tone goes up, that triggers a fight or flight response, and they can't, like you and I struggle with it.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody who's not fully developed and their endocrine system is off the charts, they're like in this panic mode, and you're asking them to listen to you as you're yelling them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into parents who are physically abusive.
Yeah.
Like, how would you possibly, as a kid, be like, let me make sense of this.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, and it's also so not fair. I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but I know you have because everyone has. That moment when you are so positive that your kid or someone else did something,
Mm-hmm.
and you immediately start punishing them,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're proven wrong.
Yep.
There's nothing worse than that. So it's like
Yep.
trying to just learn that lesson and not do that over again, because that's not fair. You would never do that to an adult. Or I guess you would sometimes, some people do. But yeah, just learning that lesson, like, take that step back.
Yeah.
Give them a chance, not only to explain themselves, but also, like, rectify it. They're still
Right.
learning. They're not
Right,
gonna
sure.
learn by us just screaming at them every time they make a little
Does
mistake.
not help.
And you see it all the time. I just
Right.
see people just, just going off on their kids about
I
the
know, it's
smallest
so-
of things.
Oh, I know. And you know, it's such displacement.
Mm-hmm.
These 5 things happened in my day, and
Yeah.
here's this little punching bag. Like,
Yeah.
how horrible is that?
That's terrible.
Yeah, no, that's so good. It's so good to be reminded by another parent who has a little kid and struggles with it.
Yeah. Okay,
So at some point, you have to get up and slap me.
I'm not gonna slap you
I'm
again.
just kidding.
I'm like, no.
It wouldn't be as professional as when a taco guy does it, but but it's current.